Phil Barden, Decoded, The Science Behind Why We Buy. Dive into the fascinating world of consumer behavior and learn the science behind why we buy with this summary of Phil Barden's Decoded, The Science Behind Why We Buy. Understanding how people make purchasing decisions can be the key to a successful marketing campaign. Discover the importance of e-decision science, developed by Nobel Prize-winning expert Daniel Kahneman, and explore how System 1 and System 2 thinking influence our choices. Furthermore, learn about framing, the power of brand associations, and the impact of situational context on consumer behavior. This summary will help marketers decipher the underlying factors that drive purchasing decisions and create effective strategies to influence consumer behavior.
Decoding consumer behavior. Marketers often rely on incomplete mental models of consumer behavior, leading to high rates of product failure despite extensive research. However, decision science, a framework pioneered by Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman, provides effective techniques for understanding and influencing consumer behavior. By examining the real drivers of brand choice, marketers can harness decision science to create successful products and drive brand equity. The Power of Our Autopilot. In his book, author Daniel Kahneman explores the concept of two different modes of mental processing that influence our behavior and decision-making. The first, called System 1, is quick and automatic, while the second, System 2, is reflective and requires more thought. The autopilot of System 1 processes huge amounts of data rapidly, making it essential for efficient human functioning. Our brains build associative connections through repetitive experiences, and once established, intuitive or implicit knowledge facilitates speedy decision-making, often cited as gut feelings or intuition. Branding, or framing, implicitly influences the perceived value of products and experiences. Function-based marketing, which focuses on the explicit decision-making process, discounts the power of the autopilot's implicit decision-making process. Understanding the influence of our autopilot and peripheral signals, expectations, habits, heuristics, internal states, and social context can significantly impact consumer behavior. Influence of framing in branding. Signals and situational contexts shape consumer behavior and decision-making. Framing is a subliminal process that shapes how you perceive the world around you. Branding plays a critical role in shaping consumer perceptions and experiences. This influence impacts not only purchase decisions but also brand equity and pricing. Starbucks is a prime example of a brand that has created an experience and associations that justify a premium price. The situational context also affects consumer behavior, and products that meet situational needs can excel in the market. Frobe, a fromage phrase brand, is a perfect example of occasion-based marketing. Understanding the underlying influence of framing in autopilot and situational contexts is critical in designing successful branding experiences. Decoding human buying behavior. The book reveals that our buying decisions are influenced by our brain's reward center and our perception of value. Studies show that our brain's response to pictures of products is based on our perceived value. The equation for the purchasing decision process is net value equals reward minus a neighbor's pain, meaning people are more likely to purchase when the perceived value outweighs the cost. Marketers can increase perceived net value by taking actions that boost the reward and alleviate the pain. The author stresses the importance of offering perceived value through language, packaging, and presentation. Furthermore, the implicit association between price and quality leads most people to believe that higher-priced products are of better quality. Interestingly, the language used in menus can influence a customer's perception of the food's taste. Implicit influences on price perception indicate that a price ending in 9 sells better than a whole number. Finally, the author encourages marketers to respond to their competitors' pricing and stay creative within the bounds of these established associations. The MAYA Principle. The MAYA Principle says that individuals learn best when new information is presented in a familiar context. This is especially true for marketing messages. People's brains focus on recognizable signals and filter out the rest. In order to be effective, marketing messages should introduce new elements consistent with existing associations. Situational context shapes the perceived value and cost of purchase decisions. Consumers recognize brands and product categories even when peripheral objects are blurred. Memory doesn't store images but instead relies on visual cues and context, which plays an important role in recognition. The autopilot evaluates everything we perceive and assigns high value to our current desires and needs. Knowing these principles guides what can and can't be changed in ads or logos, as Tropicana learned when its new packaging conflicted with diagnostic cues of the original and resulted in lost revenue. By understanding the MAYA principle, marketers can influence behavior by changing minds. The power of presentation. Marketers have historically focused on people's thoughts and feelings surrounding products, but research from behavioral science indicates that product presentation is just as crucial. Studies have shown that positioning healthy options first in a cafeteria line and replacing cookies with a salad bar near checkouts has led to significant increases in healthy food consumption. Experts in the field believe that these small shifts in interface design can influence purchasing behavior by triggering intuitive brain responses and heuristics. 3 principles shape decision interfaces: tangibility, immediacy, and certainty, all of which encourage autopilot responses and secure, familiar choices. Understanding purchasing behavior. To understand consumer behavior, marketers must identify which goals their product or service satisfies. According to neuroscientists, people buy products that achieve overall goal value. This refers to the active goal that the product or service fulfills, as well as implicit psychological goals such as security or excitement. Marketers must offer implicit validations to differentiate their brand, falling into 6 categories: security, enjoyment, excitement, adventure, autonomy, and discipline. A fast food chain wanted to sell more milkshakes and discovered that people buy them as a snack or dessert. By changing its product presentation and communications, the chain sold more milkshakes. Marketers must identify which goals their brand satisfies to guide their marketing activities. The small changes in decision interfaces could have an extensive impact on purchase decisions and sales. Goal-based valuation is the most sophisticated level of value in the human brain, and people seek it on both explicit and implicit levels. Marketing success with decision science. Decision science illuminates the path to executing effective marketing strategies. The primary focus should be on translating brand objectives into signals that satisfy consumers' goals. The universal understanding of signals simplifies this task, while signals that tap into associative memory can improve brand communication. Emotion-filled campaigns are not sufficient unless they stem from goal fulfillment, i.e., meeting implicit consumer goals leads to more positive purchasing behavior. Achieve marketing accuracy by following consumer goals while conveying the brand proposition through appropriate signals.
In conclusion, Decoded, the science behind why we buy, reveals the essential insights and principles to understand consumer behavior and make better-informed marketing decisions. By acknowledging the role of decision science, marketers can effectively tap into the unconscious decision-making processes of System 1 and System 2 of thinking. Learning to utilize framing, brand associations, and situational context, marketing campaigns can be tailored to meet the specific needs and motivations of consumers. Emphasizing the importance of goal-based valuation and staying culturally relevant in communication, this book equips marketers with the practical tools and techniques needed to drive successful marketing campaigns and achieve a deeper connection with customers.